It was to be the trip of all trips. Boy, was he in for a surprise. This is Mike Metzger, the godfather of freestyle motocross.
Well, there's no better time than right on time, and right now I'm just on time here in Milan, Italy.
He just landed abroad to meet up with extreme enduro rider Taddy Blazuziak.
Taddy Blazuziak. Is that how you pronounce it?
Blazuziak.
Blazuziak?
Uh-oh, he can't even pronounce his name. Who is Taddy? Let's just say he's the new kid on the block. He's an extreme enduro phenom who has been winning just about every race he enters.
I get to go inside of their helmets and see what these masked Jedi Knight riders are all about.
Metzger and Taddy will be spending the next week together as they prepare to race in 2 extreme enduro events. The FIM Enduro World Cup and the infamous race called Hell's Gate.
How are you, Taddy?
Not bad, yeah?
Good.
People must be wondering why a legend like Mike Metzger would want to try extreme enduro. He has been an icon in the world of freestyle motocross since the beginning of the sport. But now he wants to expand his horizons.
It's been just over a year since I broke my back, so I'm trying to, find something new that I enjoy, and doing the extreme riding is, I like it. It's good stuff.
Metzger recently competed in the Las Vegas EnduroCross event, and this sparked a new passion for him.
It was hell. I mean, I pulled off the track after my heat race, throwing up, like, Then I just wanted more,
And now he's in Italy with Taddy, ready to take his passion to the next level. A week-long road trip of extreme enduro racing.
Yeah. Actually, when I left Vegas, I hired a trainer, so I've been working out, eating good.
Like with anything new, there's fun and excitement. But he had no idea what he was getting himself into. Time to get the show on the road and head off to the first destination. Meet Wojtek, Taddy's big brother.
Laundry from the last competition. Who does laundry?
This is definitely a family business.
Where are we going now?
Genova.
So they headed south of Milan to a city by the shore called Genova. This is where the first race will be held, the FIM Indoor Enduro World Cup. Genova is a quaint little city. Metzger actually raced a supercross event here back in the day.
Day before the race. Feel ready. Are you excited? Nah, not yet. I will be when I see the track.
Checking out the course is the first item on the agenda. EnduroCross is described as an indoor motocross race over crazy obstacles like logs, rock beds, and water holes. It is fun to watch.
Looks like it's going to be really physical, exhausting.
For Metzger, this track is twice as big as the one he raced in Vegas.
Like the waterfall and all about those pools there looks quite difficult.
It's EnduroCross. Every lap you get a little more tired and everything becomes a little more difficult every lap. Kind of grab the brakes and snap the clutch.
Yeah. What?
I think we're going to teach each other a couple things.
I think it's good.
I met Mike at EnduroCross in Las Vegas. I won the race, and after the race he came to me and he's like, hey, I'm Mike Metzger. I said, yeah, dude, I know who you are. And it's quite cool because I've seen his videos like ages, years ago, and it's cool that we're here together.
Let's take a picture.
Wow.
What's amazing about Taddy is that he's only been competing in these extreme enduro events for less than a year. What's even more amazing is that he's already won 2 of the biggest races in the world. The Erzberg Rodeo in Austria and the Red Bull Last Man Standing in the United States. Taddy comes from trials riding, which demands incredible balance and agility on a bike. And these skills match up well when dealing with the terrain in these types of races. But just as important as skill is, endurance comes next. You've got to have strength and conditioning or else you're dead in the water. And Taddy is a machine when it comes to being in race shape.
I like 6 hours a day, so that's a lot of riding. What's the longest you're on a trials bike for?
6 hours.
6 trials?
Every time is 5.5 hours, 5 to 6 hours, 5.5 to 6.5 hours. That's why we need a lot of power, like endurance, let's say.
Yeah.
It's back to the hotel for some much-needed rest before tomorrow.
You know, I'm not thinking too much about tomorrow yet. I'm just pretty confident. I've been practicing well. I know that I'm ready to do a good result, to have a good result here, and just gonna focus on my riding and then just flat out, and we'll see what happens.
A life of freestyle motocross has left Metzger's body aching to say the least. And now he's going off to do some hardcore enduro racing? What is he thinking?
Life of torture. If you don't do this, then you just get real old real quick, and you can't even move. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Pop. That's good when that happens.
In freestyle motocross, aches and pains are part of the deal. You just have to accept it.
This is actually a copy of a painting that I'm doing right now. That's like the last painting I've been working on, and it's mixed media, everything from spray cans, a little bit of graffiti, a little bit of airbrushing, and also using acrylic as far as paintbrush. So definitely blessed to have that kind of skill. You know, on top of being able to ride my bike, it's like, you know, every so often I hurt myself, so it's good to have something to fall back onto, which is artwork. Other than that, I just ride bikes. That's what I love to do. So we're here, Saturday morning. We're at the stadium, and this is what it's all about.
So this is how they do it in Europe. Walking into the stadium gives you goosebumps. The atmosphere is electric. Most of the world's best riders are here. There's Cyril Dupre, Tom Sagar, and the man himself, David Knight. It's a battle of the kings.
I think the whole track's real good. I think most of the riders think the track's real good. The uphill into the stadium's real good.
It's not like in motocross or in enduro where it's between corners and corners and corners, and you know, many things can happen during just a lap, and you have four laps to go.
The American race, everyone just focus on winning, and here it's more holiday sort of atmosphere. You know, it's still serious, but everyone, you know, like we all walk the track and have a bit of a laugh.
That's why also it's fun, because it's different.
Taddy plays it cool, but deep inside he knows how important this race is. There's a lot on the line for him and David Knight.
And this is the final here at Genova, and we're gonna see who wins the last round. This race here, I'm looking forward to it, and I will try to do my best, and we'll see at the end of the day tomorrow.
Tech right now, the FIM Checkin, and basically it's where they're gonna hassle every rider to make sure they got the right paperwork. Since it was last minute, I didn't get a chance to get my FIM. So this is what I got. I got this, and hopefully it works. See.
But hopefully wasn't good enough. The race organization wouldn't let Metzger race because he didn't have an official ID.
No, I'm bad right now. That's what's going on. Fucking paid $265 for my license last week, and I didn't get it in the mail, so they're not letting me ride. Bullshit rules. So I have a bad attitude right now. I can't ride my bike.
He traveled 6,000 miles to be here, and now he has to sit this one out? This was a harsh reality to face. But the rules are the rules, and Metz had to accept it. But the show must go on. Time to sit back and watch the race from the sidelines. Metzger picked himself up and took it like a champ. That was, of course, until he was formally introduced to the crowd. This one hurt. Like most races, the event kicks off with opening ceremonies to build the suspense. The stage is set for an exciting battle as David Knight looks to bring home the championship. This guy is considered to be the best in the world. But Taddy sees things differently. If he plays his cards right, he will pull off an upset. And now, it's time for the race to begin. Heat 1 features the king, David Knight. He rides smooth, blazing over the obstacles like they are nothing. And it would only be a matter of time before he takes the lead, and then never looks back. EnduroCross is exhilarating to watch. So much is happening at once, and a race can change at any moment. The heats are only 4 laps. Sounds easy, but your body gets exhausted, and then the obstacles start to mess with you. But Knight is a pro and will move on with ease. Taddy is next, and his group is loaded with talent, including Mika Hola, Tom Sagar, and his good friend Cyril Dupre. And like David Knight, he quickly grabs the lead. Game over. Taddy shows why his skills pay huge dividends in this sport. Look at the way he floats his bike through the terrain. Flawless. Extreme enduro poetry. The kid from Poland seizes the fastest lap time and moves on to the semifinals. The night begins heating up. Taddy wins his semifinal heat and moves on to the main event. All is going according to plan. But David Knight did not fare so well. He stumbles on an easy rock section that cost him the heat. And now he has to race in the last chance qualifier. This was a shock to everyone, especially for David himself. But with the pressure on, he has one last chance. If he doesn't win this, he won't make the final. And on top of that, he will lose the Indoor World Cup Championship. Others having to race the LCQ are Mika Hola and Cyril Dupre. It's a tough night for these world champions. But Knight shows why he is the king. He pulls it together and wins the race. This sets him up for the overall title and a shot at beating Blazuzyak in the final. And this is exactly what everyone wants to see. One race to determine the best.
Cool. It's cold. We're in Italy.
With the final up next, Taddy is feeling pretty good.
In my country, it's even colder, but...
Actually, he's quite calm and upbeat.
Looks good, to be honest. You know, all the race till now was quite difficult. I couldn't really get my feeling on the bike, and I was feeling kind of strange. I still am. I cannot really be 100%, and my wrists are really, you know, I'm riding in pain, to be honest. But you know, so it's like this. Everything is getting really wet. This is the difficult part now. You have to be really precise. When you take some line, you just have to, you know, stick to it. There is no place for improvisation. You just have to know what you're doing. It's difficult to say about having fun, you know, during riding with 10 best enduro riders in the world behind, like, you know, around you. But yeah, it is cool and I like it. But you know, it is hard work.
And now we'll see if his hard work pays off in the David Knight versus Tadej Blazuzyak showdown. Here we go. Antoine Mio from France takes the whole shot on his Husqvarna. Knight and Taddy loom behind as they pin the first straightaway. Over the logs, Taddy looks to make a move, but Knight comes upon him for the pass. Then the unthinkable happens. Taddy goes down. By the time he gets back on his bike, Knight is well ahead. Taddy needs to focus now and ride mistake-free in order to catch him. But this race is only 6 laps. That isn't much time to catch a world champion. Surprisingly, Knight isn't the only one holding the lead. Antoine Mio is in first place. And Taddy goes down again. This is not good and puts his World Cup standings in jeopardy. Knight continues his pursuit, giving one last effort to catch the Frenchman. But in the end, it wouldn't be enough, and Mio pulls off a huge upset. Taddy ends up in 6th, the Nider bags 2nd, which luckily gives him enough points to win the championship. It's an end to the Indoor Enduro World Cup. The night belongs to Antoine Mio and Husqvarna. Though Taddy didn't get the result he wanted, he did win second place overall in the championship. Not bad at all, considering less than a year ago he was just riding trials competitions. In third place overall was Mika Hola of Finland. And last but not least, the Manxman, David Knight, claims the overall win and another notch in his list of accomplishments. The guys are now off to the city of Bergamo, where they will train and prepare the bikes for Hell's Gate.
We're heading out right now. We're on our way.
Bergamo is in northern Italy, and it's where KTM runs the Enduro team. This is where they will stay until they leave for the race.
You know, we got Hell's Gate coming up this weekend, and it's going to be my first extreme enduro, which I'm looking forward to.
Though Metzger didn't get to race, he's trying to get over it and move forward. With a little fun, of course.
If I can't ride, I have a bad attitude, and I'm pissed off at everyone.
That's why he's pissed off all the weekend.
It's good to be there anyways, even though I didn't get to ride. I still got to watch Taddy and David Knight, and it was awesome just to be there on the track and see how everyone's bikes work differently.
And Taddy continues to haze the Godfather.
What?
This is
You think
priceless.
that you're from America and you can ride in Europe with no license? Huh? Huh?
You know my name? I thought I could show up and race.
I'm laughing now a lot at Mike that he wasn't riding. I'm asking him every 5 seconds, like, Mike, how was it at the Enduro, you know? And you ride your bike?
No, I don't really like to ride, you know.
Yeah, no. You just came here to just watch.
Just came to
see the race and
be bummed out, you know. Oh yeah!
Come on, neighbor, we're here. This is the hotel.
Oh, it is.
I know it doesn't look like a hotel, but
Wow.
wow, yeah, I know.
So we're gonna sleep.
Of course, there's nothing else to do today.
This is a hotel. I just woke up from my nap. How far did we drive? 3 hours?
Less than 3 hours.
Less than 3?
Yeah.
So I woke up this morning, I got out of bed,
Yeah.
and then I got into this van,
And
and I
went-
slept some
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And
And now you're here.
I'm at a hotel, and
Yeah. Did you notice that my brother is gone?
Your brother flew out,
Yeah.
so he's gone home, and we don't get to ride today.
No. If you want, you can practice bike.
It's right here. Oh, there's some
here,
grass.
Here, you
Right
can.
there. I can do starts.
Yeah. Ah, boom.
There's barely a phone. There's barely a TV, actually. The screen's about 6 inches big. This phone that I'm talking on is bigger than my TV.
Finally, the guys are on their way to do some practice riding. Metzger cannot wait. But the first stop is KTM Italy to pick up the bikes.
This place, like a racing department, KTM racing department, and that's where all the bikes get prepared, and that's the place where the bike comes back after races.
Taddy and Mats will be joined by the UK's Tom Sagar and 22-year-old British Championship rider Greg Evans.
Going to some riverbed tests to do some testing with Taddy and Tom and Mike, and just generally do some practicing. Wait, let's go.
It's on, baby. Practice time at a local track on a rocky riverbed. This stuff is gnarly.
There's like a nice special test, around 2 minutes. You're gonna go flat out.
Metzger's wait is finally over and he gets to ride. There's no better way of getting into riding shape than time on a bike. And this stuff will prep you real quick.
Just trying to get a feel for what Italy's going to be like, you know, when we get to Hell's Gate.
And we got to ride pretty much one of the roughest, most rockiest motocross tracks I've ever ridden.
I was just looking for a smooth feeling on my suspension to get it right for the weekend.
The Europeans are badasses. In this sport, they ride on a whole new level.
It's been good today to ride with Taddy, to be fair, and it's just nice to see the two different styles of how they ride. It's really impressive.
I've been practicing a lot with Daddy. When it comes to a rock or anything, he'll just ride up it like as if it's flat.
And now I understand why these guys that come from trials have, you know, somewhat of an upper hand on anyone else.
I'm riding pretty good, it's just not consistent enough, you know.
Tom is a very good trials rider, and I learn a lot from Tom through these extreme events.
I know I've still got a long way to go, you know, I'm still learning, and I just need to up my pace a little bit.
hanging with these guys was an eye-opener for the Godfather.
When we got out here, it was Mike Metzger, you know, see him on the telly all the time, you know, doing a backflip and stuff.
I haven't ridden a track this rough in days. It's good though. Come out here, ride something super gnarly.
Mike is a cool guy and we're having a lot of fun.
Fucking wicked.
Be like,
It's been an awesome trip coming to Italy, hanging out with Taddy, Tom Sager, Greg Evans, the whole KTM crew. And everyone I've met here in Europe's just been like super cool and down to earth.
The fact that Metzger is on a dirt bike is truly remarkable given less than a year ago he broke his back doing a stunt for a TV show. He was attempting a backflip on the ocean from one barge to another. The distance was well over 100 feet. Seems simple enough. But boy was he wrong. Metzger overshot the landing, and when he hit the ground, he knew right away some major damage was done. He broke his back in 3 places, and the thought of getting on a bike again seemed impossible. But now, here he is, embarking on a new sport. Something that takes absolute strength and endurance.
You know, for me, I want to be on my bike and wanting to, you know, take it as serious as I can for as long as I can. And
We have been practicing together now, so I think he's quite good. We shall see in Elsgate how he gets on.
And if I'm healthy, hopefully get out there and give some of these top enduro guys some fits.
He just better pray that his body will hold up to the hell that awaits him.
We'll see how we get on in Elsgate now. They say it's very tough.
Hell, you know, I think the name pretty much says it all, really.
And we'll see who is strong, fit, and fast enough to win this. And
Right now, we are leaving. Last few preparations before we start getting our asses to the Hell's Gate. I hope we get a jacuzzi hot tub so I can soak my old ass hurting body.
And Saturday we race.
So the guys are back on the road, continuing their adventure. And by tomorrow, they will face an extreme enduro that is more evil than the devil himself.
This is really cool that I get to experience my first enduro racing here in Europe, in Italy of all places. It's always hard to be away from my kids, but at the same time it's like, you know, this is what I need to do. I need to accomplish in my life to move forward. So if I get to accomplish the things that I want to do, it's going to make it better for them. So I'm pretty excited.